team to play defense, and they look at good at attacking the paint today, and led to what, 40 trenches baskets for you guys?
I wish it's that simple that I ask them and they just do it. Obviously, we put a lot of work into it. We had really good practices, ability to talk, ability to address what focus needs to be, and that this was just one game that we did good job in those areas. And I still think there is a lot for us to improve and get better at, but it was a step into the right direction tonight.
Did you like Immanuel aggressive with shots? I guess you got 16 shot field goal attempts for.
Yes, I like his aggressiveness. Our team likes his aggressiveness. His teammates, they like his aggressiveness. I think he did a really good job of attacking, but also it's going to be work in the progress, like how quickly he needs to get off the ball in some of those situations, especially like in pick and rolls. If he goes too deep in the paint, some of those probably he can find outlets earlier. But overall, I thought that he played good defense on both ends of the floor.
RJ made some good reads, especially early in the game, 7 assists. Where have you seen kind of the biggest areas of growth in his ability to read the game and make plays?
Manu Ginobili. We had a conversation, and it was a couple of weeks ago, and I told him that I see some of that type of play in him, that he can actually attack, that he sees the floor really well, and that's what we need from him to do, to be able to score and attack, but also to make right plays and to be playmaker for us. And the very fortunate thing about that is that Manu Ginobili is his favorite player as well. So it really helps that his mindset is the right one of finding the good balance between being aggressive and really finding his teammates. And he ended up game tonight with 7 assists. And to be honest with you, I expect that from him every single night.
I was going to ask if you've had him studying Manu, but it sounds like that's something that he's been doing for a while now.
Yeah, looks like that's his favorite player, and obviously he watched him a lot, and I'm planning of sitting down with him and just watching that film together and enjoying that film together.
Coach, Gary didn't miss a shot in the first half. How important is that to have him have a hot start, and what did you see from him in general tonight?
I thought that he was obviously making shots in the first half. I thought that he was aggressive. I thought that his defense was really good. I thought that a couple of times we did not find him open in transition, especially start of that third quarter, that led down to lack a little bit of his focus. And that was the reason I took him out of the game. And that was the reason I talked to him on the bench to refocus and to get back in the game and to do what he's capable of doing. And it's on him to be mentally strong in those moments and be able to move to the next play, but it's also on his teammates to understand what kind of shooter we have in him and to really find him when he's open.
What do you know about DJ Carton? What have you learned about him in the past 24 hours?
DJ Carton, I like the grit that he brings with him. Obviously, he's very short with us. I don't like to make any conclusions based on 24 hours or one game. I know that our scouts and our front office, they've been following him for quite some time, and they have high opinion on him. And we're going to continue evaluating, working with him, putting him in play groups, and I was happy that he actually got a chance to step on the floor tonight and play.
You said before the game that between Ochai and Jordan, defense would determine the minutes. Just to broaden that out to all the sort of shooting guard guys with Gary and Grady, how would you say the defense was at that position tonight?
I thought that overall we did a good job. Obviously, one player that really hurt us tonight was Mikal Bridges from the three-point line. We lost him a couple of times with some miscommunication or just like losing him on the court. And he's the type of player that you cannot lose, So, but to answer your question, I thought that both Gary and Grady, they did a solid job defensively as well.
Apologies, sir. Gary's outside, so we'll do 2 more questions.
You mentioned before the game that there were a couple tweaks that you guys worked on defensively during the break. Felt like tonight there was a lot of help at the nail. I'm wondering if that's maybe one of those tweaks, like a lot of aggression at the nail. Yeah.
I kind of shared that with you.
Okay.
Atlanta coaches are going to listen to this and get ready for the game.
Fair enough. I guess the main question I have is the on-ball defense. Seemed like it was working to a T. There was 10 steals tonight, a lot more deflections. That's the type of energy I'm assuming you want to see.
That's kind of like what we talked about before the game. Like, I don't care what coverage, pick and roll, I don't care what schemes you have. If you don't have good on-ball defense, it's not going to work. And that's biggest emphasis for us. Like all other coverages and help on the weak side and everything, we'll figure it out, but we got to be really good on ball.
Gary, you had a strong start to the game, not missing a shot in the first half, but the coach was just telling us that you guys had a conversation in the third. Overall, what would you say your performance was like tonight?
Man, just went out there, play hard, try to contribute towards winning. We came up off the All-Star break and got a win, so that's probably the most important thing. Yeah.
What did Coach say to you in the third quarter that maybe motivated you to get 10, I believe it was, in the fourth?
He just pulled me out 3 minutes into halftime and said, get focused. I said, okay, Coach, I understand you, and kept it pushing. That's all really I can say, can do. You know, obviously he sees something on the floor. You know, I'm all ears, so.
After going up against RJ for a few years, is there anything that you've learned about him or anything that surprised you about his game now, being a teammate with him?
No, not really. Not at all. I've been familiar with RJ. Again, I done said this a couple times. I don't know if I said this publicly, but the first time me and RJ and Quick met, we was 15 and 14 years old playing each other in Argentina. So I've been familiar with his game with USA basketball versus Canada basketball. And we came back the next year and played him again. So just to see his growth and his development from us being 16 to now, I would say is exceptional. You know, obviously he's getting bigger, body filling out, more athletic than we were younger. But just putting all the pieces together, you know, he's making nice passes, you know, just being a complete player.
How long did it take you when you were first traded here a few years ago to kind of develop that chemistry with Scotty? Whether it's like working you as a screener for him and those two-man actions and just finding chemistry with him on the court?
Yeah, I don't know. I was here in Tampa, and then he came. We drafted him, but it was great though. You know, again, his development as well too. Him being such a threat downhill and being a mismatch nightmare, you know, it could put you in different positions to be successful. Whether if I'm screening or somebody else is smaller screening like Quick, you got to switch the point guard onto him, and now the big man is trying to chase Scotty, and now the guard is trying to get back to me. So it's just a cat and mouse game, but you know, it just works. You got to continue to keep doing it, continue to keep going it. You know, whether it's me, Quick, you know, anybody can be in that position. We got Scotty at top with the ball.
Gary, Darko was mentioning before the game that on-ball defense is something that you guys are really working on as a team collectively. I'm wondering just in general, people say, you know, half of defense is effort, right? How much of it is technique versus that effort?
I would say a lot of it could be technique and effort. You know, obviously effort is a big thing, but technique in the certain positions that you put in on the defensive end, whether it's certain defenses you play in, whether it's you got the ball and you're weakened in the middle, or sometimes you have it on the side, you can ice it and keep it on the side. So it's different defenses and different things that obviously can help you depending on your teammates and your skill set as well, and it can kind of balance out.
It's you know, there's been a lot of talk since you came here about finding the right mix between shooting and setting guys up, and Darko's been pretty clear he wants you to be more on the aggressive side and was pleased with your effort tonight. How did you feel out there in the first game back?
Felt good. Took 1 or 2 days off and got right back to work, honestly. Worked pretty hard during the break a little bit, I feel like, and just excited to finish the year strong. And it felt good out there. Felt good.
You hit a three-pointer in 27 consecutive games, which ties the longest streak of your career. What's the key to your consistency over that stretch?
I'd say now it's just, honestly, I'm shooting so many, one's gonna fall eventually, I feel like. But nah, just honestly, just staying aggressive, and I appreciate the coaching staff staying on me to be aggressive and kind of be like who I am, really. And I feel like when I'm more aggressive, I can find my teammates a little bit easier. There's a lot more help when I'm more aggressive and in the scoring mindset. So just try to take what the defense gives me, but try to be aggressive first to look for my shot.
There's that balance that, you know, you were mentioning offensively, but there's also the balance of offense and defense and being able to kind of focus on both sides. Darko was mentioning how on-ball defense is super important to you guys moving forward. How do you think you can kind of balance that with what your responsibility is on the offensive end?
Really just the mindset to try to be a two-way player, to not be a guy that teams feel like they can go at and target, whether that be the scout or the game. and just take pride. Honestly, every organization in college, high school that I've ever played in, USA basketball, we've taken pride on defense, and I've pretty much played man-to-man my whole career. So just taking pride, help side, helping your teammates, things like that. Just try to take it to another level. We've seen tonight what we can do on the defensive side. So we just got to try to continue to do that for the rest of the season.
Obviously, you and Scotty spell each other a lot as far as being the sort of point guard with the hybrid units or the bench-heavy units. And then when you're out there with the starters, Yak is the guy who's usually screening because that's what he does. How do you build chemistry with Scotty given those sort of realities in like two-man game or just playing off of each other?
Well, I mean, the point guard word is honestly dead now in today's game with how guys like Scotty 6'10" can dribble the ball and make plays and things like that. But I think it just makes the game easier for me. I don't have to go against full court pressure the whole game. I can tell Scotty go get it, and I can play off the ball and be aggressive from that way. So just trying to use everybody's strengths together to help each other. I mean, that's basically what you try to do to try to get wins.
You guys played really well in transition. What do you feel like you can take from this game, whether it's transition or something else that you noticed, and bring it forward to tomorrow's game?
Yeah, just understanding, one, that every game is different. Just because we won this game and played well, we have to bring up pretty much a more intensity and more defensive togetherness and fight because we know that Atlanta can put points on the board. So just go back and watch the film so we can be better because you can be better. You can learn from wins. You learn from losses. So just try to find a way to get better from the film and see where you can improve.
And then just bouncing off that, you guys, Darko's mentioned a lot of times that you guys are focused on development from here to the end of the season, really. How tough is it from a player's perspective to learn new systems, to learn your new teammates, while also still trying to win and be competitive?
Oh, no, that's my focus. Both, really. Development is, I feel like it's not being result-based exactly, but also still caring about competing, I think is the kind of what I see it as. You never go into a game and say, I'm just going to develop, I'm going into the game to try to win, but also just understanding that, there's a learning curve that we have to reach, and we're trying to reach it as fast as we can. And I think if guys put everything they have into every day, I think we're going to be right where we want to be.
How would you evaluate Grady's defense?
I guess good. I honestly don't even remember it, to be honest today. That's a very specific question.
Oh, I can get more specific.
I think it was good from what I remember. I think.
So you weren't here at the beginning of the year, but teams were targeting him a lot, and fell out of the rotation a bit. But he's been sticking around pretty consistently for the last little bit. So I guess you might not be the right person to ask.
He competes though. He competes. I love it, and he's a great team player. He's a great team defender, and then individually he competes. So you can't really ask for much more than that. He competes. So.
I was asking Gary about this before, but I mean, how much of defense is effort versus technique?
I think a majority of it is probably just honestly effort, just trying. A lot of guys really just don't try, to be honest. And then as you get more years in the league, you learn techniques and things that can, put you in position faster or hand activity and stuff like that. But most of it is really just effort and being in shape, because if you're not in shape, then you don't feel like giving the effort. So.
Thanks for watching the Toronto Raptors YouTube channel. Check out our latest video and subscribe for more.
Denied, lead pass, here's McDaniels. In a crowd, wide open three.